visiting team today, the Onate Knights. They will be playing the home team tonight, the Centennial. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to the couple of announcements. I just want to say, it started off good yesterday. Las Cruces High last night, 44 and 18. We also had the Aggies last night. New Mexico State, 28. California Mustangs, 10. Great way to start out football weekend here in Chinatown. Again, ladies and gentlemen, get you to stand up. Gentlemen, remove your hats. So welcome to color guard from Onate High School. And the band, Centennial High School Band, represent Star Spangled Band. Ladies and gentlemen, also please stay standing until the color guard leaves the field. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. At this time, we want to remember all our family members who are in the armed forces, are overseas, or family members who are in the community that do community service, law enforcement, firefighters, doctors, ambulance personnel. And we also, community people who don't get enough attention, again, people, is all the teachers in the Las Cruces public schools. Let's give them a hand.
and sometimes I'm in the hat box.
Okay, fans on your feet. Onate, are you ready? Centennial fans, are you ready?
Make their debut here. We're on the Hawk side, so you'll hear a little more of an explosion over here, I think, on the western side of the stadium. And the Centennial Hawks head out onto the field for tonight's game. Brad, so we're just a few minutes away from the opening kickoff, guys.
Brad, I remember my first high school football game, and when I came out, push-ups were never so easy in my life.
Exactly. You know, that first game, you're getting all excited, you're all fired up, you're going to be flying around the field. The big thing is keeping those emotions in check. You know, even the seniors, it takes time to remember what that was like. I mean, it's been 10 months since you played last, and so just remembering what that feeling was like, getting back to the speed, running these, you know, running the sprints down there to the end. You know, you don't realize you're tired until the second half, so we're set up for a good one.
Don't forget to buy your game.
No wind tonight.
Yeah, that's rare in southern New Mexico.
Yeah, flags lying totally limp. It's going to be a fantastic night for football.
Yeah, I noticed it.
Good afternoon once again, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to LCPS TV. This is the very first matchup between the Onate High School Knights and the Centennial Hawks. Tonight we're going to be broadcasting from the home side where Centennial fans have packed the stands. I'm actually really surprised at the size of their student section and with all of their parents and teachers and faculty as well. The atmosphere is absolutely electric. You can tell that these two schools are ready to get a good rivalry going tonight, and I'm very excited to see how it plays out in the spirit sections and on the field. I hope that you are too. Once again, if you're just tuning in, my name's Emerson and I'm from Mayfield High School. I'm going to be keeping you up to date with what's going on the field, in the stands, and here on the sideline. It's going to be a great game tonight, so make sure to keep it tuned to LCPS TV.
Hash is Jalen Boston, and over here on the near hash, the western hash, is Brandon Gomez. Teeing it up, and ready to kick is Zach Weisenberger, and we are ready to go. Weisenberger gets his foot into it, line drive kick, hugging the far sideline, and Boston will let it go out of bounds. And so Centennial can either take it upfield or they can make him kick again. We'll see what Aaron Ocampo wants to do. We saw a lot of kicks going out of bounds last night as well. Last night they were bringing them out to the 30.
Yeah, kickers get nervous, and it's just a matter of timing. If you're not trying to kick it to the covering corner, because it's not like a punt, because a punt goes out, it's wherever it goes out.
Last night they were bringing it out to the 30 in this situation. Tonight they're putting it at the 35. Interesting, huh?
They changed the rules since yesterday.
Apparently. First down and 10 for Centennial. The ball is at the Hawk 35-yard line. The quarterback is Christian Sedano, and he's in the pistol. They send the split in far side motion. Boston straight ahead. Not much there as the Knights swallow him after a yard gain to the 36-yard line. And it's second down and 9.
Well, they're going to try to establish something at the line of scrimmage, see which line is superior, and anytime you're doing something between the tackles early, you're trying to find out, can we move them just head-on blocking.
Hawks don't usually huddle. Second down and 9. The ball is at the Centennial 36. 3 wide receivers. Good snap. Boston takes the handoff, bounces it out to the left, gives some ground, and he's tripped up at the 34-yard line. He's going to lose a couple, making the stop for the Onate Knights. They have such a big roster that I have to change pages. It's Nathan Treviso, the senior. So it's third down and 11.
Yeah, two conservative plays to begin the play, to begin the evening for Centennial, and yet we expect him to pretty much run an air attack.
Well, you know, Aaron Ocampo told me once, everybody thinks I want to throw it. He goes, if I can run it, I want to run it. Third down and 10, the ball at the Hawk 35-yard line. Blitz being shown. Here comes the blitz. Sedano back to pass. He is going to be hit. He's dropped. They get a sack when they blitz. The Onate Knights have forced a 3 and out.
Well, Brent Jaquist, new head coach at Onate, made his reputation as a defensive coordinator, and here was an impressive first series for the Onate Knights.
That was really impressive by Onate. I think that what's really amazing to me, guys, is the speed that Onate showed. And right there, the speed off the edge was just really amazing, something we didn't see last year from Onate.
Guerra with the sack for the Onate Knights. Brent Jaquist told me the strength of this team, defensive ends and defensive backs, he thought. One of the ends on their punt cover team just jumped across, but it's 4th and 18. This will be a 5-yard penalty against the Knights and move the Hawks up a little bit, but they'll be punting, and the line of scrimmage will move up to their own 32-yard. Ariza back deep to receive for Onate. Ryan Ariza, a senior. Don't have the heights and weights for the Knights. They've left them off of there, maybe for a reason. So it's 4th down and 13 for the Hawks. The ball is at the Centennial 32-yard line. They're going to boot it away. And a little bad luck, huh? You call return to the right, and they kick it to the left number.
You got 50-50.
Yeah.
You know.
You got to set up a return somewhere, right?
Right.
All right, 1st and 10 for the Knights. The ball at their own 24-yard line. Jeff Matthews with Greg Berry and Brad Beasley at the Field of Dreams. Well-attended game. A little buzz in the stadium as the Hawks and Knights start a rivalry tonight. Right now it's the Hawks leading the Knights 14-3. Wingback comes in motion, little option. Reyes fakes a pitch and keeps. He has the 25, the 30, the 35, and is swallowed at the 36-yard line. It's a gain of 11.
I think he was missing a back there. I think somebody went the wrong way. He turned, he made a fake, and he was looking for somebody to pitch to, and there was nobody there. And so he just kind of saved what he could and actually moved the chains.
It worked. Put the play in, huh, Brad?
Well, absolutely, and usually what happens on an option is you usually leave one guy on block, the defensive end, and that's your key. If he drops down, you keep it. If he comes after you, you pitch. That time, Reyes turned around and looked up, and there was 2 Centennial players unblocked right in his face, and actually, good job. I think that's a keeper, and he turned around and just ran back up the field, so good job on his part.
1st and 10 for the Knights. The ball at their own 36-yard line. Reyes ducks underneath center after operating in the shotgun almost all year last year. Hands off to the dive back Guerra, who gets back to the line of scrimmage. He's swallowed up, making the tackle Matt Alvarez. 2nd down and 10. Guerra, 3 carries, no yards on the Uno stat update. So they haven't been able to get the fullback dive established. 2nd down and 10, the ball on Onate 36-yard line.
The dive often works best after you've hit the pitch man or the quarterback a couple times and made some yards around the edge, and then it tends to open things up the middle.
Guadian wide to the left. In a slot to the left side is Ariza. Reyes drops to pass, looking for Ariza. He has it at the 40. Spun down at the 42-yard line, shy of a 1st down. And it brings up 3rd down and 4. So a gain of 6.
Onyate's not passing the ball too bad, Jeff. I mean, I think that they had some success with it early. I think I'd still look at passing if I was in.
Well, you got to remember Reyes threw the ball a lot last year for him.
And
out of the shotgun.
Yeah, and Fabian Reyes last year was coming off the bench, and he showed us actually quite a bit, a nice throwing arm, and he caught our eye. My eye, anyway.
3rd down and 4 for the Knights. The ball at their own 42-yard line. Send Ariza in motion, just pitch it to him, trying to get outside to the right, picks up a block, but he can't get the first down as he's tackled shy at the 44-yard line. Gain of 2 when they needed 4.
And I think it was actually the same play that went for the 40-yard gain a while ago, and I'm going to call it a student body right play. They had going
sweep,
to the wide side of the field, pulling linemen and getting all the backs in front of him.
A toss sweep.
Yes.
So it's 4th and 2. The Knights have the ball at their own 44, and they're lining up to punt it down 14-3 on the Jack Key Motor scoreboard. Punter back, fields a good snap and boots it away. And the kick caught back at the 13, or make that the 17. Makes a guy miss, makes another guy miss, 20 up to the 25-yard line. So the Hawks get a good return. Mark Sotelo. He had a guy right in his face when he caught it. He sidestepped him, and then he made another guy miss. And got him, what, about 8-9 yards. So Centennial will start. They're going to mark it at the 24 with 7:17 to play in the half.
We always say in the first game, special teams is always a big deal. That gets the least amount of work in practice, and we put that in a couple days before. I mean, obviously, good coaches are doing it for a real long time, but right there, Onate had 2 shots to just absolutely bury Centennial deep and just couldn't make it happen.
1st and 10 for the Hawks. The ball at their own 24-yard line. Twins to the left. Sedano out of the shotgun, fakes a handoff to Boston and then keeps. He's got some room. He's hit at the 29, pulls a tackler with him across the 30 out to the 34-yard line. It's a first down.
And that was the first significant gain that Centennial has had up the middle. And as I said, you keep working successfully outside, pretty soon things loosen up in the middle.
First down up at the 34-yard line for the Hawks. So on their first play of this series, they lead 14-3 and have a first down to work with at their own 34-yard line. Twins to the left, out of the gun. Hand off to Boston. Boston straight ahead, finds some room for him across the 40, out to the 42. It's a gain of 8.
So 2 consecutive plays that now Centennial, which was not accomplishing anything early in the game, tackles, now has made 2 nice games inside.
And then when they've got him run happy, they've hit the home run ball in the passing game. Second down, 3 to go for the Hawks. The ball at their own 42-yard line. Twins to the right. Send a man in motion into the backfield, fake a handoff to him, come back the other way with a counter. And the Knights defense that well. And a gain of 2 for the Hawks.
Yeah, fake the fly sweep, running right to left, and then hand it to your tailback, crossing in front of the quarterback. He had kind of a crossbuck action to it.
Boston picks up 2 to the 43. 3rd and 1 for the Hawks at their own 43-yard line. 5:40 to play in the half.
Centennial looking to the sideline to see what their next play call is. Not huddling.
3rd down and a yard to go. The ball is at the Hawk 43-yard line. Again, they send the flanker into the backfield in motion on the fly series, and a marker flies. Looks like one of the split ends might have procedured illegally. 5-yard penalty against the Hawks. 3 penalties, 35 yards for Centennial. The stat update brought to you by Uno Chicago Grill, Brett.
And that's a killer at 3rd and 2, getting a 5-yard penalty. That just changed your play call completely from possibly one of these little dive plays they've been running or something like that to now you're probably putting the ball in the air at this point.
Well, it kind of makes me wonder, one of your split ends takes off early, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think perhaps it was a pass play to that guy.
It might have been anyways. Yeah, he was excited. These aren't college kids or pros. They can't disguise their excitement when they know the ball's coming their way.
3rd down and 6 for Centennial. The ball is at the Hawk 38-yard line. And again, they motion the flanker into the backfield, fake a handoff to him. Now he sends a pass out left side, incomplete, intended for Boston. And nowhere near to complete. Boston was being covered by one of the defensive linemen for the Onate Knights, and he did a good job. Garibay, the junior. And it's down for the Hawks, so that legal procedure penalty figured big. That was the first incompletion by Sedano. He's now 3 for 4 for 97 yards and 2 TDs. So they have run it 14 times and thrown it 4. It's 4th down now and about 6 for the Hawks. Good snap back to the punter, and it's blocked. The Knights have blocked the punt. This is as good as a turnover. There's a scramble for the ball. It really doesn't matter who comes up with it. It's Onate Knight football. Shooting in there for the Knights. And blocking the punt is Darren Jackson, the defensive end.
And the is about as deep as anybody can be.
That's the Hawk punter.
Hawk punter, 17 yards deep, and still couldn't get it off. And this, I think that Coach Jake was in for a big play, and now this is their first big play of the night.
So they take over at the 19-yard line of Centennial on a short field. 4:54 to play in the half. It's the Hawks 14, the Knights 3.
Talk about a huge.
Get it off, hand off to the fullback, and guess what? Nothing doing.
Yeah,
they lost a yard on the fullback dive.
Yeah, the Knight timing on their fullback dive is not very good.
Why would it take them that long to huddle on the sideline to get the play in? They almost got a delay a game.
Takes a long time to call 1:30 quick. That's usually what those calls are.
2nd down and 11. The ball is at the Centennial 20-yard line. 4:20 to play until halftime. Knights, after blocking a punt, have it 2nd and 11 at the Centennial 20-yard line. Reyes sends Ariza in motion, and they pitch to Ariza going right, and they have it hemmed in nicely to the Hawks, and he's going to lose another yard. And it's 3rd down and 12.
Well, the Knights don't want to blow this opportunity. They got the big play on the punt block, and now thus far on yards and 2 plays. And they don't want to settle for another field goal attempt. They want to put something in the end zone, so it's very important to come up with a big play here.
3:44 to play in the half. 14-3, the Hawks lead it on the Jack Key scoreboard. 3rd down and 12 to go. The ball is at the Centennial yard line. Wide side of the fields to the left. Reyes calls, and they fake a pitch. Reyes drops to pass, has time. End zone, and the pass broken up, but flags fly. Going to get interference. Reyes floated one up there. He had one Knight there and 2 defenders. The ball was batted away, but flags fly, and looks like interference coming against the Hawks.
Yeah, you had a Centennial player who basically pushed on the Onate player as he was going up for the ball. Had a chance to catch it. There's 3 Centennial players around there, but you can't really push, the other player.
Gaudian was the intended receiver.
As long as you're playing the ball, you don't usually normally get in trouble if there's some contact there. But when you play the man rather than the ball, then that's when the penalty comes.
This will be half the distance to the goal from the 21, I believe.
Coach Ocampo is arguing that the defensive back had tipped the ball before it was pass interference, and I don't think that counts because it's pass interference when the ball's in the air.
They move it to the 11, which is shy of a first down, but it comes with an automatic first down. So it's basically the 10-yard penalty, half the distance to the goal. And a new set of downs for the Knights at the Centennial 11-yard line with 3:17 to play in the half. The Hawks lead the Knights 14-3 on the Jack Key Motor scoreboard. So the Knights with another crack at it here. They end up converting via penalty on 3rd and long. So it's 1st and 10 at the Hawk 11-yard line. And Reyes fakes a pitch back to the air, zips it over the middle, and it's tipped and incomplete. Saving a touchdown for Centennial is Chavez as he knocked it away on a post route. Reyes zipped it over the middle, looked like it was going to work for a touchdown, but knocked away right before it got to the intended receiver at the back of the end zone.
That was a very similar play to the play that they just ran. It was where the interference was called. Had 4 receivers spread out in the field from the middle to the left-hand side, kind of a flood pattern to the left, but 4 receivers out.
2nd down 10 to go. The ball at the Centennial 11-yard line. Onate trying to punch it in there after a block punt. Wide receiver split to the left. Flex bone in the backfield. Right wing comes in motion to left. Reyes fakes the dive. Keeps the ball. Spun around. Gives ground and swallowed for a huge loss on the option. Well, I got to say, the Onate option does not look like a well-oiled machine. It's opening night. You're changing offenses.
I just don't think they have the experience, Jeff. I think that, you know, the big thing with the option, like we said before, is there is a key. You cannot pitch on phantom. You cannot, you know, give or not give on just some phantom look that you see. And what Onate is doing is they're running what they think the option that they're seeing, instead of seeing what is the defensive end doing. Is he coming down? Should I keep it? Should I pitch? Should I cut up the field? They're just pitching because, I feel like pitching the ball.
Going wide to the right is Brandon Lopez. Ariza wing left. Guetta the fullback. Montoya wing right. Reyes ducks underneath center on 3rd and 16. Reyes fakes to the fullback, keeps coming left. He's got the 10, he's got the 5, he dives, is he in? Touchdown Onate. Reyes faked the dive and then cut it hard left. And it's a 16-yard TD run. And that has to really be disappointing for a Centennial. They had to feel like they had them really in trouble, and Fabian Reyes with a terrific run.
Now, that was the play Onate needed to put themselves back in this football game, have a chance here to make it 14-10 or 14-11. Level field going to go for 1. But, Brad, I couldn't tell if that was design play or if it was a broken play.
I think it was a broken play. I think it was that Reyes had looked and saw there was a hole, and so as soon as he faked on the reverse option, he looked and just basically took it himself, because everybody was blocking and the whole thing was flowing to the right. And after he faked the counter dive, he just took the ball right behind it. So.
I always loved Vince Lombardi's simple advice: run to daylight.
Weisenberger to try the PAT. The boot is away and the kick is good. 2:09 to play until halftime. It's the Hawks 14 and the Knights 10. On the Jack Key Motor scoreboard, back in a minute. You're listening to Night in Hawk Football.
Would you like?
We're still here live at the Field of Green. We're about to end the first half, and the atmosphere has gotten even more crazy with Onate and Centennial both on the board. I can't wait to see what's going to go down in the second half, and I can't wait to see the halftime performance from the Centennial marching bands. Make sure you keep it tuned to LCPS TV. Other than that, it's a beautiful night out here, and I know that both student sections are crazy pumped and excited to see what's going to happen, as am I, and I hope that you are at home. Thanks for tuning in to LCPS TV. For now, let's go out there, let's finish the first half.
Onate 10 on the Jack Key Motor scoreboard on a beautiful night at the Field. The wind has up a little bit. Weisenberger's kick is caught at the 5-yard line, to the 10, to the 15. Boston to the 20, 25, 30, 35, and up to the 39-yard line. Bear crawls out to the 41 for a couple extra at the run. Nice job by Boston, really, at the end of the run. I think it's against the Knights. We'll see, though. Dead ball. Offsides on the Hawks. That's what I get for thinking. So 5 free yards. In a way, it's a shame they stopped the play, because, you know, Onate was going to get a free play out of that if they let it go on. But I think that's the Federation rule there, that if you cross the neutral zone, they blow it dead right away. In Texas, they would have let the play go, I think.
And it's going to be a first down with the penalty.
First penalty of the second half goes against the Hawks. 1st and 10 for Onate at their own 46-yard line. Flex bone, we'll call it. Double wing ace-back set. Fullback just a couple of yards behind the quarterback in the set. Right wing comes in motion, and a high end off to the dive back. Nothing there. Maybe a yard if they're lucky. Their fullback, Guetta, 5 carries for -1 yards. So the dive hasn't been there tonight.
Well, and I'm sorry, I grew up with the option and watching this, and then there's nothing he's reading there. He was just handing the ball off up the middle. If he had kept it, there was one guy on the outside for Centennial to beat with two men on the pitch. I mean, obviously it's his first time running the option, but boy, we're just not reading.
And it doesn't make any difference what your formation is or what your play is. You've got to execute.
Second down and 10 for the Knights at their own 46-yard line. Reyes ducks underneath center. Ariza goes in motion this time. Reyes drops to pass. Reyes going for Ariza out of the backfield. He's open and he overthrows him. It's incomplete.
Yeah, two receivers in the pattern, one going down the middle of the field, and then Ariza coming out of the backfield, swinging left to right in a kind of a circle pattern, and he had a little space there, but the ball was overthrown.
Yeah, he had 5 yards on the nearest defender, and a perfectly thrown ball goes for a huge play, but Reyes did overshoot him. Ariza came out of the left wing in motion to the right side. If they had run the option, he'd been the pitch man, and they ended up sending him in a pass route and got him open, but the pass was errant. Third down and 10 for the Knights. The ball at their own 46-yard line. Come out with 4 wide receivers here. 2 to each side on 3rd and 10 at their own 46-yard line. Reyes ducks underneath center. Reyes drops to pass. Now he rolls left. Man's wide open and he hits him. It's Ariza. He has it and then makes a nice move and he gets the first down. Down at the 42-yard line. This is what I want to see.
Yeah, just a little rollout to the left. It was not a scramble. It was a planned rollout to the left. Only had one receiver on this side of the field, but it was Ariza, who's so far tonight has shown apparently he is their best offensive threat for the Onate Knights.
Good throw, good catch, little ad lib, Brad. Spreading the field out.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about at halftime, that we wanted to see Onate get the ball in space and get it out to some of their playmakers. That's a great call.
1st and 10 for the Knights. The ball at the Centennial 42-yard line. Lopez wide to the right. Ariza wing left, Guetta the fullback. Reyes sends Ariza in motion and hands off. They got the fullback free for the first time across the 40, bangs it down to the 35 as Guetta picks up 7. So he's got 6 carries for 6 yards now on the Uno stat update and gets him into positive territory. And I'm not blaming Guetta. He's had nowhere to go when he's been taking handoffs until that particular play. 2nd and 3.
But the timing and the execution for Onate Knights has been a little bit better here in the second half, and without that, they have no chance.
And they've had a little variety in their offense.
Yes.
And a little imagination. 2nd down and 3. The ball is at the Centennial 35-yard line. Split receivers to each side. 2 wing backs. And Guetta the fullback behind Reyes. Ariza goes in motion. Reyes drops to pass, gets some pass pressure, and he's going to scramble, and then he's beheaded as he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Big hit by Centennial as it was Luis Vilrola, 238-pound defensive lineman, that knocked him down at the 35. No gain. It's no sack because he got back to the line of scrimmage.
Now we would anticipate that this would be 4-down territory, but they fooled us in the first half, so we'll see what they do here if they don't make it on 3rd down.
7:20 to play in the 3rd, 21 to 10. The Hawks with the lead. 3rd and 3 for the Knights. Big play here. Knights at the line of scrimmage, getting set. Reyes ducks underneath center. Reyes sends Salcido in motion, fakes a handoff, drops the pass, flushed right, drops the ball. It's rolling free, and there's a pile up for it. It squirts up to the 38-yard line, and Centennial recovers it. So Reyes just dropped it trying to scramble around for his life. And Centennial comes out of there with the football. So a little fortunate that he dropped the ball, but there on the spot was Lorenzo Ramirez. And Centennial is held.
So Centennial now coming in the second half, momentum with the last score of the first half, gets a stop with a fumble and can really put themselves in control of this football game if they go down and put points on the board here.
First turnover for the Onate Knights. 1st down and 10 for Centennial at their own 38-yard line. Sedano with 3 wideouts sends Fernandez in motion. Fake a handoff to him. Handoff to Boston going back the other way, and he's loose across the 45. He dropped at midfield. It's a gain of 12. 43 yards on 10 carries for Boston on the Unos.
That play about 3 times tonight, and it worked best that time. It was fake to the fly sweep, going left to right, and then heading Boston going right to left. So it had kind of a crossbuck action to it, but that was well executed.
First down and 10 for the Centennial Hawks. The ball at midfield. Fernandez comes in motion. Fake a handoff to him. Sedano keeps straight ahead. Gets to the second level. Gets to the third level. Has the first down. Popped and dropped at the 35. It's a gain of 15.
Brad, it's always fun to see players at the high school level give that second and third effort.
It really is, and sometimes, we think they're going down, and if you were watching college game or pro game, they would have been going down, but these kids just keep fighting. I mean, we're seeing them just fight for extra yards, and that's what's fantastic about Friday night and watching high school football. These kids are just playing for fun, a lot of passion, a lot of pride.
First down and 10. The ball is at the Onate 35-yard line. 3 wide receivers for the Hawks. Good snap. Hand off to Boston. Boston bounces it off the pile, bounces it out right, gives some ground, and gets tackled before he can really get going. He's going to lose some yardage. Trying to bounce it out to the right. It's a loss of a yard to the 36. Good idea. He just couldn't get outside the contain. A good open field tackle made by the Knights.
Now the pattern tonight has been move the ball, a couple first downs on the ground, and then the secondary starts sneaking up, and then suddenly Rewald is clear behind the defense. So we'll see if that happens here.
Second down and 11. The ball is at the Onate 36. Snap to Sedano coming right. Tucks it, gets it blocked, across the 30, gets to the sideline, dropped at the 29. Gain of 7. He's averaging 6.5 yards a carry as Sedano. Just 6 passes for Centennial tonight. 23 runs. But they've scored all 3 of their touchdowns on passing play. It's 3rd and 5. Maybe look for play action here, huh?
Could happen.
It's worked well all night. 3rd down and 5 at the Onate 30 for the Hawks. Play action. Sedano is hit as he throws. It's complete. Left side and in heavy traffic. Stopped shy of a first down at the 28-yard line of Onate. Looked like Jonathan Castillo was the receiver, tight end.
Yeah, I think Castillo actually made a mistake there in where he chose to run. I think he had running room out towards the sideline. Instead, he cut it back up towards the middle, and the flow of the defense, the pursuit was coming that way.
4th down, 3 to go. The ball is at the 28-yard line of Onate, out of the shotgun. And now they look to the sideline to see if they'll change the play or not, and they do. So Sedano sets his team with a receiver at each side. 4th down and 3 at the Onate 28. Sedano sends a man in motion, calls for the ball, fakes a handoff and keeps. Straight ahead, gets the first down, breaks it towards the sideline. He's got the 15, stops, and then he's hammered down at the 17-yard line. It's a gain of 11.
Brad, do you think about the high schools in town, and I'll tell you what, our quarterbacks better prepare to take a lot of punishment because they keep the ball a lot.
They really do, and obviously both sides tonight, we've seen them keep the ball a ton, and man, they're getting popped. I mean, it's kind of like watching RG3 on Sunday. I mean, these guys just don't know how to get down. I mean, he really should have gotten down where he was, and he just tried to keep fighting and he just got hammered.
1st and 10 at the Onate 18-yard line. Fernandez in motion. Penalty marker flies. Handoff straight ahead, and this time the Knights defend the little dive play pretty well. The penalty marker came right away, and it's an illegal shift against Centennial. Aaron Ocampo has slimmed down, hasn't he? I mean,
he has. I was told this offseason he lost almost 95 pounds and he looks like a brand new person.
He lost a bow, huh? And then some.
Yeah, a bow's only 40 pounds. I mean, he lost 2 of them.
He lost 2 bows. Brad brought his little son tonight. How old? He's 4?
Yeah, he just turned 4, and he was really excited, although I will tell you, he does bleed green and gold. He came in here and said, we're going to watch the Trojans tonight, right, Dad? I said, no, it's Onate and Centennial. He goes, but I want to watch the Trojans. I said, it's okay, buddy. We'll watch them tomorrow.
He was showing Greg his airplanes.
Exactly.
All right, it's 1st down and 15 after 5 yards stepped off against Centennial for an illegal shift. First and 15 at the 23-yard line. Two tight ends. Fernandez goes in motion, and they fake a handoff to him. Sedano keeps straight ahead. Good patience. Now he finds a huge hole. 15, 10, 5, touchdown. A gaping hole. He really had to patience to let it develop. It's a gain of 23 yards and a TD, their first rushing TD of the night.
I think that was the same play that they just ran on the previous play, was fake the fly sweep, quarterback keeper up the middle, and had very good blocking, and that's an example of execution.
Exactly, and you talk about a 2014 offense versus an older one. All that was is the crossbuck. You know, you had mentioned it earlier. It's just a fly sweep and somebody else in front. It's just a crossbuck with the quarterback keep. But you're running out of a shotgun, you know, with a motion guy. And great job, great play design.
Late third quarter, the PAT is on the way, and it is good. Hawks 28, Knights 10 on the Jack Key Motor Group scoreboard. 1 minute break as the teams come upfield. You're listening to Knight and Hawk football. I'm K-Great.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Have trouble handling it up at the 25-yard line, and now some pushing and shoving. A Centennial Hawk goes down.
I think it's going to be a personal foul on the Hawks on a late hit, as Onate was down just covering the ball, and somebody's coming in and putting a helmet on.
Two markers down on the field. There's a squib kick, and pretty uneventful until the very end of the play. Dead ball. No foul. Centennial. So 15-yard penalty against the Hawks. They're starting to rack up the penalty yards, but they've racked up the points too. It's 28-10 Hawks late third quarter.
And Centennial better watch out. Then that situation is a scuffle, and number 52 for Centennial, who is a defensive player, ran onto the field very aggressively, very fast, went right into the pile, and the referees were debating whether it was kind of as participation in a fight. So you got to keep your head. I know he was trying to hustle on the field, but that could have been really bad for him.
Yeah. Now Ed Helsel comes over to talk to the Centennial sideline about maybe watching their sideline, because you're right, that's what it's about. Sprinted onto the field to participate, and then Ed's giving him an explanation on what the penalty was, and now the Hawks are talking to their sideline about sideline management. The get-back guy didn't get the get-backs in there. 3:38 to play in the third quarter. The Hawks lead at 28-10. The Bulldogs were impressive last night. Hawks look pretty good tonight. Good to see the Trojans tomorrow against Hobbs. Hobbs called, said, hey, we want the Trojans. First and 10. The ball is at the Onate 43-yard line. Salcido goes in motion. His hands off, and a gain of 2 coming left for Ariza up to the 45. Ariza, 9 yards on 6 carries on the ground. He has a catch for 26 yards, a catch for 6 yards, a catch for 9 yards, and a catch for 12 yards. So he's caught all 4 of their completed passes.
Yeah, Ariza has pretty much been the offense for Onate tonight.
I'm getting a whiff of some chili or something. It's pretty strong.
It's the Centennial uniforms.
Well, you could smell chili from 2 miles away. So.
Second down, 8 to go. The ball is at the Onate 45. Flag fly before the snap of the ball. The referee was watching them like hawks.
I got it. Please don't explain.
Yeah, I wasn't going to. Self-explanatory.
That's been a rough night.
Offsides against the Hawks. And the Centennial coaching staff saying, what'd we do? What'd we do? We didn't do it. We didn't do it. You're kidding me. Big serious debate going on over this. They say they did not encroach, but they've been charged with it. And ticketed, and the 5-yard penalty is stepped off, and the Knights have the ball out at midfield. 2nd and 3 for Onate. 2:50 to play in the third. The Hawks have opened up an 18-point lead in the third quarter. Reyes sends Montoya in motion. They run option, pitch it to Montoya. Nice move to the outside. First down, 45-40, 35-30. He's had 2 big runs for him tonight. He's down to the 29-yard line. That's a gain of 21 yards. He's got 61 yards on 2 carries for the Knights tonight.
Well, coming back to the theme I was visiting at halftime, it's about execution. They got good execution on the option there. It's the second time.
42-10, 27 seconds play in the game. Onate has it at the 35-yard line.